Conversations.
Hey Zouk family, welcome back to another creative conversation. This week we have an incredibly special guest, Tuan Val, 34 years in charge of the K-9 unit here with the auxiliary police in Resorts World Genting. You're in for a real show. We're not just going to learn about the K-9 unit, but also get a show and tell of exactly how powerful and intelligent these animals are and how they keep us safe in not just Resorts World Genting, but Zouk also. Tuan Val, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to see us. You're part of the furniture here in Resorts World Genting, 3 decades in charge of this unit. How did it all begin?
Well, I joined in 1986. Before that, the K-9 history, I must touch on a bit on K-9. It started out in 1971 by our founder, Mr. Jerry Newton. He's a Eurasian, with 2 dogs. He used to bring the dogs during the first casino in a theme park hotel. During at night it's closed, so he used to patrol, and one day when our late chairman was patrolling the area, the dog was almost getting him, it sprung over. So, and then the owner commanded, come back. Well, it really took off good with the late chairman, and he said, all right, we will give the food and shelter for these dogs, you can have it here. And then it started off from 2 dogs, and now we have more than 30 over dogs for Genting.
More than 30 over dogs over 30 years period of time.
Yeah.
And what age do you take the dogs, and then how long do you train them for?
Yeah, we normally, to save costs, we breed our dogs. We import the good quality parents from UK or Germany, and then we breed them. And then from there we do selection for detection, crime dogs and so on. We start off from the age of 3, 4, 5, 6 months and so on.
And you have police dogs, which we've utilized at Zouk before, but you also have sniffer dogs for detection of bombs.
Yes, I do that. And then we do the same training for bomb dogs and also for other detection works. But I have some experience where I got it from UK and also US, which I went for this course as a dual purpose course. And then I brought it over, and then I taught it to my instructor, and then later on to the trainers.
And you've been keeping us safe successfully for 3 decades.
I hope so.
Fantastic. So today you're going to show us a bit of the training, also how the bomb detection, and also how you tackle things such as potential riots as well as terrorism as well.
Yes.
We can't wait.
Yeah, we will do that in a demo, a short demo. Then as the demo goes on, then we'll do some explanation to you.
And may I ask, how many years service would a K-9 partake in the different roles?
It will take, the lifespan for their service is 8 years, but the training will take about 6 months from the day we begin. Okay. 3 to 6 months.
Hey, that's fantastic, and thank you so much for showing us around, and thank you for keeping us safe.
Thank you, sir. No problem.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
What we have here is a full bite suit and a decoy, experienced enough to do some bite work. And he's going to perform some police KNPV style of demo. This police KNPV style of doing decoying is from Holland, which I learned in Holland, and also some from the trainers from here who gave us a seminar, Mr. Henny Bolster and also Root. This is how to test the courage of the dogs and how we arrest the decoy or the suspect who is so aggressive. Down, pernah lebih. இல்லை 2 வாட்டி அடிக்க போகிறாங்க.
So Tuan Val, we've seen the German Shepherds in action, which is incredibly impressive, and to have such control over such impressive and powerful animals is a real skill. But you also have the English Springer Spaniels who focus on the flushing part of the job, which is incredibly important to the resort for detecting bombs.
That's right. Here we have 9 English Springer Spaniels. 2 of them are imported from UK. Which was trained together with the trainer with me over there in the UK, and then what we did, we started our breeding program with them. The parents are now 4 years. The siblings, offsprings are already now a year and a half. They are also trained to do some explosive detection work, and generally they can do search and rescue plus tracking, and they are good. And we saved a lot of that, through breeding program. If not, you'll be having about 35 to 40,000 to import one dog. So we saved a lot on the training and also to import the dogs.
And what age will you start the training of the Springer Spaniels?
When they are about 4 months, 5 to 6 months, depending on the training that you want. Some search and rescue dogs may be later. Detection dogs will start early. And these are the only dogs that we encourage them to do ball training, which stimulate them to do more and more. Yeah.
For Zouk specifically, it's fantastic because every single night the club is flushed by these dogs to ensure there's no explosives. But also for the hikes, this is a beautiful mountain, a lot of people go trekking.
Yeah.
The search and rescue is very important.
Yes, that's right. We had one incident in 2009 where we rescued about 11 years old in Awana, went missing when he was hiking with a group of people, and then he got lost, and the Awana management called us, and at that time we don't have a search and rescue dog, but we had a tracking dog. We used his cloth, we did the tracking, and then we found the boy. Before it get dark, about 6:30, in the jungle it's already slightly dark, and then he was rescued over.
It's fantastic, these dogs literally save lives.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to see some of the skills that they have
Yes.
in the flushing.
We will do on the flushing, that's mostly on detection. We have a lot of flushing area over inside, in tactical room and outside. We can show some demo on that.
Let's go. Thanks, Tuan Val.
No problem. All right, what we have here is I call this a detection tower, which I designed by myself. There is more than 660 pinholes where we have to put some very tiny amount of sand, so that the dogs will sniff here on the wall, floor, up here another wall, and here. So it's to show their skill and then to create more awareness wherever there is small amount of traces of explosive or scent. This we call a scent wheel. It's meant for detection work. The dog should be going around and do the sniffing work, and he just sniff and sits to indicate that this is the place that the strong odor is coming. And this wheel can be rotated like this, so that to confuse the dog, and then we do it again, so that they are more polished into doing the sniffing work. This is a combat table where I created on my own. The normal combat table will be concealed over here on the 3 sides. They can only look, but here I've created something like shaky board to build the courage of the dog and give them more confidence. This exercise is meant to keep a good grip. We call it push bite and a calm bite, where the dog knows that it's not going to be a hustle one, and the decoy will put pressure on the dog, like you have seen just now. Is going to be pushing over here and there, and the dog should not get loose of the grip. And when that swing happens, the grip still maintains. The decoy's exercise is to bring back over to the table, put it back over here, chain him up, and then the next decoys will take over. We have about 105 meters of agility, which the handler and the dog has to cover. We will start off with this ladder climb. This to teach the dog to be more obedient in the height. This is about 10 feet or 15 feet height. They will do the instruction from here, commanding by signal and also by verbal. Bring the dog over to the first course, first stage of obstacle. Then they are to be completing. They will be completing 105 meters of obstacles. The last will be the exciting one, is the ring of fire. In detection dogs, we have many other detection way of doing things. That is, we have medical dogs which can send cancer cells and some failure in your organs. And we have the latest is the COVID-19 dogs, which can be swept on your saliva or even the sweat from a gauge, and then they place it in glasses. The dogs are trained. It can be easily implemented in any other dogs, as long as they have the ability to do the training. And so does drug dogs. Drug dogs, you know, they wrap it and then they do the scratching to indicate that this is how a drug detection dog's trained. So do explosive and other. We have blood stain detection dogs. When let's say that the crime is happening, they clean the place, but the dogs can still smell the blood stain. It's not visible to human eyes, but they are very, you know, using their nose, the dogs can sense that there is some blood over there.
So Tuan Val, what training are they doing here?
Okay, you can see these are all young German Shepherd dogs, which is between 18 months to 4 years. They are going to do some demo on group obedience. This is more on police way of doing obedience, which is not using ball or food like what these pet dog trainers do, but here it's all about command and praising the dog with the proper way. So we will do some steps of how the police dogs do their obedience training.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, 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 bad boys.
Tuan Val, thank you so much for what has been a fascinating day for all of us. It's fantastic for everyone out there to see the loyal lineage of your dog, K-9, hard work, and all that you do to protect and serve in Resorts World Genting. We've really appreciated it. Your team are incredibly skilled, and thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. And I know that the dogs can be used in many ways for security purpose, that is including CIT, events, some flashing duties, escort and so on. So, and also to take care of companies' properties everywhere where there is need in vital installation and so on. So dogs are given the stars to do with the tray handlers, and of course we are carrying out a good job over here in Genting.
Fantastic. And thank you for protecting us at Zouk. We see you every single night.
Yes.
And for everyone out there, they're not just incredibly skillful, it's not just a wonderful show, but they do keep the resort incredibly safe, which is why we have so few incidences up in Resorts World Genting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who let the dog